Today, we're going to look at our top 10 campgrounds over the last 2 years, starting on the West Coast and finishing in the East.
Now, we used a proprietary, non-scientific rating system, and that was based on, first, campgrounds we love. Second, it was based on the facilities and activities offered at the campground. And third, what was in the surrounding area. Fourth was based on the popularity of a campground on YouTube.
We start our list on the west coast of Oregon at Whalers Rest, 1,000 Trails property. Now, when you arrive, you pull up to this hut and you will check in there. Check-in is real easy as long as you have a reservation. Tennis and paddleball, their courts are absolutely beautiful. Further down the road, you'll find a playground, a volleyball court, and a basketball court. Now, the sites here are nestled into the woods, and you really feel like you are out in the wild. But if you want to take a swim, they have a beautiful indoor pool and hot tub that is second to none. If you like putt-putt golf, well, all 1,000 Trails properties seem to have them, and they have a very nice one here. If fishing is your thing, they have a fish cleaning station that you can go out, rent a boat, and come back and clean your fish. How about cabins if you don't have an RV? Well, their cabins at Whalers Rest are absolutely beautiful, some of the best we've seen anywhere in the country. Now, our favorite part is this walking trail right here. You really feel like you're going back into the woods as you make your way down about 100 yards or so. But when you get to the end of this trail, you get the big prize, which is the beautiful Pacific Ocean and this incredible sandy beach. This has to be one of our favorite parts of Whalers Rest, just a 2-minute walk to the beach. Next on our list is in Northern California, Lake of the Springs Campground. It's 1,000 Trails park, and it is gorgeous. As you enter the park, you check in at the guard shack, and then you make your way down for over a mile to get down to the campground and the lake. And look how beautiful this is nestled into the woods. There is a boat ramp here to get out on the lake, and then there is tent camping near the beach and right next to the lake. They also have docks there. Now, we were there off-season, but there are normally boats there for you to rent. And their community room is a gorgeous log cabin that's bigger than anything I've seen, with a beautiful deck. They, as always, have miniature golf in almost every 1,000 Trails campground, and it's nestled into the mountains. It's really nice. The campsites themselves are into the woods. They all have 50, 30, and 110 power, sewer, and water, and it's just beautiful there. Now, the best part about it is the deer. Yes, that's right, I said deer. We were doing a close for one of our videos, and guess what? This deer photobombed us. He just didn't want to get away, and they are not afraid of us at all. Our first of 2 campgrounds in Nevada finds us at Boulder Beach Campground, a National Park Service campground. It is absolutely gorgeous, this desert landscape, and as you turn the corner to get into the campground, you're above beautiful Lake Mead and its water. Now, it's a little different to check in here because it's run by the Park Service, but it's not hard. You just fill out that little form and go from there. They do have several group areas that are humongous, and while we were there, we saw groups of over 100 people. Their actual campsites are well maintained, and there is plenty of room for everyone in this campground. Now, you are walking distance to the beach of Lake Mead, right behind us there, and it's beautiful. Now, all national park campgrounds have camp hosts, and they're there to help. The scenery here at Boulder Beach is just absolutely gorgeous, and there are plenty of biking and walking trails that you could spend the day. and you're only about 4 miles away from the incredible Hoover Dam. It is a sight to see. Our next campground is not really a campground. It's the Oasis RV Resort. And believe me, this place is a resort. You can tell as soon as you drive in through this arch and see the beautiful grounds and the beautiful buildings that they have. They have a store that is second to none. It's almost like going to Camping World, and a restaurant in there as well. Now, as we drive around the campground, you'll see the sites are, well, a little bit close together. But the sites have everything that you could possibly need. A table at each site, full hookups, and a level concrete pad. The campground is well maintained and gorgeously put together. You cannot really want for anything when you're in Las Vegas. They do have a few what they call big rig sites, and these are 90-foot pull-through pads that are gorgeous. They have not one but 2 pools. Patti's standing right now in the adult pool, but just down the steps, you'll find the family pool where it is just beautiful. And they even have a beach with this waterfall rock formation. You can't go wrong when you're coming to a resort like this. And of course, you are in Las Vegas. And they have a beautiful gym as well. Our next stop is in the magical Sedona Valley in Arizona. It's Verde Valley Campgrounds, a Thousand Trails property. And I have to tell you, this place is breathtaking. As you pull into the guardhouse and then down the hill, you'll find some campgrounds nestled up on the top, and look at the view from these campgrounds up on the top of the mountain. It is breathtaking. Now, down at the bottom of the campground, all of the spots are right in the middle here, and it is just really beautiful. As we look around the campground and take you for a quick tour, you'll see that there is nothing left to the imagination at this place. Our favorite part is right next door, where we found Alcantara, a winery vineyard nestled into the mountain. And look at this, it's got a river where 2 rivers are actually converging together, and you can go kayaking out there. It is absolutely incredible.
When traveling in your RV, how do you navigate? Do you use one of these? Do you use one of these? Do you use Google Maps? Our sponsor, RV Life, has the solution, and it just works.
Now let's head over to Illinois and Lincoln Trail State Campground. This is a state park, and it is done right. As you drive into the park, you go past the ranger station, and, well, it's kind of nice. And then you go down this road to get to the campground. There's even a restaurant nestled back in the woods here. Once you get into the campground, you can see there is plenty of room for everybody. Very, very big campsites with all of the amenities. Now, on the other side of the campground, there's a little more rustic camping, but it is still really beautiful. Again, we had a pull-through site, and it was easy to get in and out of, but they do have several back-end sites back in the more rustic area. If you like horseshoes, you could play with me and probably win. Now, here is a beautiful community campground that overlooks this river as it goes by. And in the area, a lot of historic. As we skip over to Pennsylvania, we find Circle M Campground in central Pennsylvania, another Thousand Trails property. And this property in this area is just a beautiful part of the country. Look how green it is. And they have a lot of land at this property. It's actually encircled by a river. Now, they have 2 pools. One is indoor, and there is a hot tub at the indoor pool. And Patti is at the outdoor pool that people were enjoying each and every day. Now, there's a game room with pool tables and air hockey and a lot of games for the kids. I had a good time there. But the store, which is right next door, was Patti's favorite place because they had ice cream and she checked it out every single day. Now, their barn, where they do events and play bingo like they are here, is absolutely ginormous. They also had dances every day there. Now, the new part of the campground has very modern campsites with poured concrete. This one is a handicap spot, so it's extra wide, but they all have full hookups. Now, down by the river where we were, the campgrounds are beautiful as well. They have water and power, and they do come down and pump out 3 times a week if you need it. But look how close we are to the river, and that river is our favorite part. Here, Patti's getting into a floaty where you can float down the river from one side of the campground all the way to the other side of the campground. It takes about 2 hours, unless you pop your floaty. And then you have to walk back the entire way. It's time to head to New Jersey and Lake and Shore Campground, another Thousand Trails property. Like all good Philadelphians, we head over the Ben Franklin Bridge and go down the shore. Once we get there, you'll find this beautiful property nestled into the woods, and when you check in, it is just something to be seen. The campsites are a little bit tight and they're a little rustic, but guess what? You really feel like you're out there and you are camping. If you like the water, you can rent a paddle board or a kayak, and guess what? Both of those things are absolutely free if you want to go out and connect with the water. If you'd rather just sit on the beach or wade in the water, they have a beautiful sandy beach with beach chairs there, and look at the dogs, they love it. Now, on the weekends, they set up this blow-up slide for all the kids. Yes, that's me, and I had a great time. But this park has an actual water park, and as we head down, you can see me coming out and having a great time at Lake and Shore Campground. Now, the sites are huge. If you look at these sites, we had plenty of room, all of the things that we could possibly want, and they have a beautiful pavilion to do group stuff, and you can see there's that putt-putt golf course in the back. But most importantly, just relax. It's time to jump down to Florida and Crystal Isles, an Encore RV resort on the Gulf of Mexico. As you enter this property, you're almost going into a magical land. Check-in was very, very simple, but look at this. This pond is located right in the middle of the property, and it is just beautiful. Volleyball, well, the sand here is absolutely white, but guess what? Look at the boats. They have 2 boats that you can rent for a reasonable amount, and that's just what we did. We took that boat out with a local captain, and guess what? We found the manatees and got to go swimming with them, and they were so much fun. The property has a pool that is spectacular, and they also have a hot tub that we enjoyed almost every night while we were there. The sites themselves are really, really nice and big. And look at this. We were right on the river. So you just can't beat this place, especially if you have a boat, because they have a boat launch as well. And yes, we had a dock right in our campsite. It was so relaxing to sit on the dock. The crown jewel of Thousand Trails Orlando, or TTO as they call it. This property is huge with over 1,200 campsites and all the amenities. Now, they have check-in there. Well, they've got it down to a science. But let's take a drive around the park. Notice how everything is angled to give people the most space possible. It is really a beautiful campground with lots of space. Now, the new part of the park has cement pads, but the old part of the park still is gravel pads. But look at all of that space. I had a great time when we were there. And look at this. They have not 1, but 2 pools. One is a freshwater pool, and the other one is a saltwater pool. They also have a hot tub and this beautiful lake that backs up to Disney.
Choosing a favorite campground is a lot like choosing a favorite child. You love them all, but you like each of them for a different reason. And we came up with our top 10 based on different reasons. What we would love is if you would share in the comments below a favorite campground or two and tell us why you love that campground.
Some of us like the serenity of the forest and trees. Some of us like to be on the beach. And some of us like all the modern amenities of a cement pad that's very, very level and everything that goes with that. Well, all campgrounds are kind of a personal preference, and what we've shown you today is our personal preference. Now, we started on the West Coast and we made our way to the East Coast over the last 2 years, and these have been our top 10 campgrounds. We'd love to hear from you, love to have you subscribe, like, and all of that kind of stuff for our videos. I'm Dan Hunt. I'm currently in Wildwood, Florida, while Patti is up in Manassas, Virginia, saying have a great rest of today.
And an even better day tomorrow.